Ready for your cut?
Hi, I'm Aaryn,
And I'm Asia J.
and I'm known as Pretty Little Barber,
And I'm known as Asia J Cuts
and this is Cutting Up Daily.
because it's our daily conversation.
Yeah.
Today we're going to talk to you guys about tipping. Hey. Tips. Paper tips.
Cash
Monetary tips. Not those other tips that you guys like to give out.
Tip of the day. No, run me that money. No, I feel like number one, tip your barbers, please. We're here for you. We make you look fly. So giving us a tip is great.
It's like your way of saying thank you.
It's like your way of saying thank you. And we say, you're welcome, my pleasure.
Sometimes you have to live off of your tips. Sometimes our tips get us through the week. Sometimes we eat dinner off those tips. Sometimes we buy gifts with those tips or gas or, just a number of things. Like, that really helps.
I literally paid my rent off my tips, and I paid for a whole big event off my tips. So we literally, like she said, live off our tips. And just know that cash tips are better because Uncle Sam taxes 33% of our credit card tips. 33%.
So if it goes through that machine as a tip, they are taking a percentage of it, which really sucks. I don't know if you've ever gotten a tip and it's like $600 and something worth of tips, but they took like almost $3 something. Like, it's very devastating. So yeah, as much as possible, tip in cash. As much as possible, tip. We do understand that sometimes life throws curveballs where you don't have you only have enough money to pay for the service that's being provided.
Again, if you work in the industry of like barbering, hairstyling, and waitressing and all that stuff, like, we literally live off our tips. Like,
some people are like out here to make a dream come true. So like when we perform this service, we get paid for it, but that tip is just like icing on the cake. Like, I was telling Asia like the other day, I came to work, literally left my wallet at home, and I'm like, I'm starving and like no money, but I was like, okay, I'm booked up today, so I know when my clients get in, like, I'm getting paid and I'm gonna get tipped. So that is like awesome, and I was able to go eat.
Our episode of commission shop versus booth rent, some commission shops, you have to tip your receptionist because they help you with, the books basically. And so just think, you don't get tipped that whole day, like, or you get like low tips or shitty tips. Yes, I'm saying shitty tips.
Shitty ass tips.
And then you still have to tip the receptionist. Like, that's, sometimes you walking out with less money than when you came in.
Or sometimes somebody might have, only one person tipped you cash that day, and it's like,
oh, that too,
$7 or $8. So when it's time to tip out your receptionist, guess who's getting that $7 or $8? Not me. I have to give it to my receptionist because they've kept my books full, my towels are clean, there's no hair on my floor. So our tips not only take care of us, our tips take care of the people that take care of us, for us to be able to be there for you.
And then we are the people who take care of you, that make you look good, that like changes your day, which a lot of clients come into, the shop and like, oh, I had a horrible day, and then we make your day feel better, we make you look good, and then you walk out and don't tip. It kind of makes us feel like shit. Like,
I hate it when I do like 110%. Like, I'm getting your ingrowns out, popping pimples and all kind of stuff, and it's just like, oh, it's the same thing. So like, you'll know if you're a good tipper or not by your stylist attitude when you show up.
Yeah,
like, we're always generous, but I'm super. When my boys come in, they know who they are. I'm like, hello. Like,
the main thing is like, we live off of our tips. And some jobs, commission, like I said, don't base your the hourly pay on tips. Like, that's what blows my mind. Like, well, you're gonna make tips off of this, and it's like, everybody don't tip sometimes, so it's just
literally, if you have 8 clients, 5 of them will tip. If 6, the 6th person probably gave you $1 or $2, which is always like.
And that's hurtful. Like I'm grateful to get tips, but sometimes when you get those like $1 tips and stuff, it makes your day like, damn, like what did I do? Like, did I do anything?
Because it's like, are you being like sarcastic?
Right. Like, are you?
Or like, did you really just only have $1?
Right. I mean, you never know. And a lot of people would say like, well, it's a blessing you get tips. And it's like, thank you. I mean, that's the type of job that we're in. So
I mean, it's even on the receipt when you go eat. Like, they even tell you how much you should tip. So tipping is, I mean, it's what we do. Like, I tip great. Like, get my nails and stuff done. Each one of my technicians is getting $15, period. So that's $30 on top of my service. I'm prepared to do that before I even go in. I don't even go do a lot of stuff if I don't have all the money, like the tips or whatever, because I don't want you to perform a service on me and then I just give you what it costs. Like, no, I want you to know I appreciate your time. I appreciate you working with me, making it custom for me, you know, doing what's good. I appreciate that time that you took out for me.
Yeah, and like how we talk about karma, like tip karma.
Tip karma. That's another thing too.
Believe in that.
That's why I love to tip, because I feel like it always comes back to me bigger than what I gave it out. And that's not why I do it. You got to pay how you weigh. So I appreciate the boys that pay me well and tip well.
Facts. Well, how do you feel? Like, we cut men's hair. So to our men clients, like, when you go on a date with a man and they don't tip properly, like, how do you feel about that? I feel a certain way.
Well, Asia knows how I date. I feel like I date people with integrity.
I feel like that is like how your mama raised you. You know, you supposed to tip.
Honestly, I look at you like, I don't care if you're a millionaire. If we go out to eat and you treat the waiter shitty and you don't tip, like, that's a reflection of who you are on the inside. It has nothing to do with the job that they're doing. You don't know why they're doing that job. So number one, if you look down on somebody in service, you're pathetic. And number two, if you don't treat them like you would treat somebody else that has the same amount of money as you or class or lives in your neighborhood, you're still trash. So I'd be very offended. The date would be over as soon as we got to that part, or at any point in the date, if you weren't treating the people that serviced us right. I don't care if it's the bus boy, the person that come by and sweep the crab legs and stuff off the floor while you eat, or the peanuts or whatever. Like, you treat everybody the same. Sometimes I've gone out with people and they put a little boo-boo tip in there, and then I put my tip in there, and I'm like, this is how we do it. So sometimes people just need to learn. Sometimes people were not raised properly. Some people are just selfish. They are only going to give you what it costs, and sometimes people are going to try to talk you down from what you're actually worth. So I feel like you just have to know who you're dealing with. The great thing in our business is that we get to pick and choose our clientele. We get to refuse service. So if you are not up to par, if you don't tip the way I like to be tipped, then you won't be a client long, period. And because this is my business and this is how I feed my child.
We appreciate all of our clients, and we appreciate our clients coming back to see us. And we totally appreciate the tipping clients. So tip your motherfucking
We appreciate
barbers.
who appreciates us. And that's just what it is in 2019 and beyond.
We want to thank everybody for tuning in, and we also want you guys to comment and subscribe. Comment below. Hit us up in a DM. Let us know how we're doing. Let us know what we can improve. Just, you know, show us some love.
And again, thank you for all the love, because this is so crazy. I'm always overwhelmed every week by how much love you guys actually show us. And just remember, we're just starting out. We are totally winging it, but I love it. Like, every week I fall more and more in love with what we are doing, and I hope you are too. And we hope to bring you better content. So again, like she said, like, subscribe, and comment below.
We love y'all.
Love y'all.